Good morning, guys. Today is Wednesday. I am at I'm about to walk into my follow-up appointment for the surgery post-op. I'm gonna take a video of what my stomach currently looks like. It's horrible. Like, I feel like something is wrong. It's horrible. Like, it's really swollen and it's hard for me to pass gas. Like, tomorrow will be 2 weeks post-op and I feel like I should be doing better instead of worse. So I don't really know what I did to cause it. I'm hoping he tells me that this is normal and it'll pass. But I really don't know, and I really feel very uncomfortable with what's going on there. It looks really weird and deformed. Really weird and deformed. So we'll see what he says, and then we'll also find out why he couldn't remove the extra tissue. Honestly, I'm just a little distraught, and I probably should have just left the hernia the way it was, because at this point I don't really know. So let's go in here and see what he says. Good morning.
You have an appointment today?
Yes, at 9:45 for Tiana.
You just had surgery recently.
Yes.
I'm just letting you know, since you did have surgery recently, they do cover you for 90 days from the day of surgery for the office appointments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're pretty drunk. But yeah, even in recovery, I talked to you about 3 hours later, believe it or not. And we had a very clear discussion, but after 6 hours, people don't remember anything. All right? So what I did was a couple things. You had a big hernia in the middle, right? A hernia is nothing but a hole, right? So the problem with you is your diastasis, which I was very confident if you get close. So your diastasis was like this.
Wow.
It was huge.
It didn't appear to me that would look that way. Like,
No. But you know, so here's when we really know, because the way our abdomens work, you know, we take deep breaths, we cough, we sneeze. So when I go in the operating room, I inflate you with air and your belly distends out, and that's when you know the true nature of this thing. When you're like laying flat on your back at rest, we don't know. That's why a lot of hernias aren't even this. So you had a huge hole in the middle here, okay? So first what I did was I dissected all the muscle here, like that and that. Okay, and then I started to bring this all together. And then what happened, immediately started deforming our abdominal wall. Like, it was immediate. And I even was just looking, it only took me, I do, a pass means I come into here with a stitch, I come out, I come here, I come out. So each time, that's 1 pass, 2 pass, 3 pass. I did 4 passes and it was completely deformed. And I wasn't even at a bad part yet.
okay.
I wasn't even here. So I pulled out that stitch and stopped. So then, what I did was I covered this all up. It was a huge defect. So what you're seeing, and why it looks funny, and it'll get all better, here's your skin, here's your muscle, here's your fat. So skin, fat, muscle. So a hernia is a hole, like this. And so the reason we get hernias now is when you have the hole in the muscle, the lining of our abdomen goes through like this, and then organs go in it. So in the operating room, what I do is I pull all that stuff back in. So now all that stuff is back, your intestines are back. We close this, we put a mesh like this to cover the hole. But you have an empty space right here. So what happens? The body puts fluid into it. You're not allowed, the body does not allow an empty hole with like nothing in it. So you get fluid right there. So when we're looking at your abdominal wall or pushing on it, that area that's all bulging is this, and it's called seroma. So if I did 100 operations exactly like yours, probably about 10 to 20 people would get these things. So what do we do with it? Well, for the first month, nothing. And the reason is, if I stick a needle in here to drain it, your new mesh is right below. I could contaminate your new mesh. Even if I prep the area and all that, we still have so much bacteria in our skin, especially in a clinic, we're not in the operating room, it would be very dangerous. So we don't do that. So what I do is I have somebody like you come back in a month from today. If the seroma is still there, I send you the radiologist, they put an ultrasound, they say, yup, it's the fluid, it's there, and then they stick a needle in it. Because it doesn't hurt. Believe me, they do it, it doesn't hurt, and it's just, they give you a little local anesthetic, stick a needle, you actually feel better. when they do it because it's causing pressure. So it doesn't damage the repair, it's just a sterile ball of fluid. But there are things you can do to help it go away. Because like I said, only 10 to 20 people out of 100 get it. So what happens to the others? The body reabsorbs it. But you can help the body by doing a couple things. Number one, do you have your binder at all? So wear the binder, that definitely helps. Number two, warm compresses now that you're out of the early period. So you take like either a hot water bottle and put it on there, massage, or what's even easier is take a face cloth, wet it, wring it out, put it on there and do that. And what that'll do is these things have a tiny capsule on it. It's like a water balloon. If you break that capsule, you might even feel a pop. The thing will just reabsorb.
How often per day?
2 or 3 times a day. Generally, I tell people if you're busy in the day, when you get up in the morning, whatever, even eating at the table, you could do that, right? Microwave it, eat, like do that. Do it at night when you're in bed a few times. Now, you may do all these things and it may not do anything. But from today, we're going to know in 1 month when you come back if this thing's getting better or not. And if not, we send you the radiologist to do that. If it's getting better, we just say, let it get better. Because you don't want to keep sticking needles and stuff in people unless
so you said they stick a needle, am I numb?
They numb it up, yes, they numb it up. But it doesn't, believe me, it doesn't hurt. The needle is tiny. It's tiny and they give you local. But there's an 80% chance you won't need this. 20% risk you will, 80% you won't. So for the size defect you have, I'm not surprised. It's usually the people with the bigger defects that get these things because you have a bigger empty space. So your muscle is really flaccid, meaning like when you're asleep, we inflate you, right? Some people inflate like this. I mean, you were inflated like that because your muscle's just so loose now. So your next question would be, can I do anything about it? The only thing that can be done is you would have to have an abdominoplasty, right? Plastic surgeon make an incision like this. They pick up the skin and fat. They bring the muscle together. They bring it down, get rid of the skin. That takes about 2 hours. You stay in the hospital at night. Recovery's a couple of months. That it's purely cosmetic because the hernia is fixed. You need to worry about that. It just depends on whether you hate your abdomen or not. Just come back in a month. You can engage in activity. I would avoid heavy stuff for another couple of weeks. Normally, I tell people with just a hernia repair, 10 to 14 days, but you were definitely kind of on the more extreme side of a hernia. So I'd wait 2 more weeks before you do anything heavy, and then come back and see me in 3 or 4 weeks.
So what about bike riding?
Definitely can bike ride. Now, stationary or on the street?
Stationary.
Totally fine. Just avoid going high resistance. You know what I mean? Like keep the resistance pretty low, so it's not like you're fighting the pedals to push forward. But I encourage you to do light exercise.
Light exercise.
Yeah. Normally what I do is in the operating room, I'll take, actually it's literally a ruler I put inside your abdomen. If I see 8 centimeters, I don't do it. I put it in.
8 centimeters.
Yeah, well, the easiest part was 8 new. So what my plan was, like, well, I might not be able to fix our whole diastasis. I should use like a diamond, but maybe I could do like the lower half, and that would still make it look better. But even with the bottom, it was just, it totally, like, it took your abdominal wall, it was like doing this, like down bottom. Just bunching it up,
But it was centimeters and not inches.
Correct. Cool, so I'll see you in a month.
All right.
Hang tight, you look good.
I'm confident that this will work.
Oh,
I was a little nervous. I'm like, what
of course.
is this? All right. Y'all heard what, excuse me, the doctor said. So basically, I have to wait another month to see if the fluid goes down. I really need to get my eyebrows done. This is redonkulous. And I'm always in my nose on camera. So the way that he explained it, I don't have a pen in the car, but it was actually centimeters and not inches. But of course, when you're under the influence of anesthesia, he said he talked to me 3 hours after surgery. I don't remember any of that at all. Real question is, should I go to Chick-fil-A? This is the only time I'm over here to go to Chick-fil-A. I know I don't need Chick-fil-A, but I could void all other meals, or at least lunch, if I decided to get Chick-fil-A, not have lunch, and then have dinner, but a very small dinner. Should I do that? I don't know. So yeah, I think I'm gonna, I don't know. Should I go to Chick-fil-A? Tell me. Last night I ate very good. Earlier in the day, I ate good. I really haven't had any fried foods. I've been really good. And, so, as you can see, I ended up at Chick-fil-a. And I really wanted breakfast, but I didn't even realize what time it was. So, I had to end up getting lunch. Probably not the best idea.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
So yeah, I end up having to get lunch, which is not what I wanted, but I was already in line, so I just got a grilled chicken sandwich. But I should have got a salad, but my mind was stuck on a biscuit, so that equated to a sandwich, and I made the healthier option of getting grilled instead of crispy. And I still got fries. So he said I can work out just lightly. So I guess I'm gonna walk. Anyway, so now I have to go home and log into work because it's 11 o'clock and I haven't done anything for work. And I know I have a lot to do today. A lot on my plate. So if I don't talk to you guys later on, I will talk to you guys